Welcome back to another Jay's Color video, and today I'm reviewing Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Drax the Destroyer from, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Anyway, with all that down, let's take a look at the package. Taking a look at the package, again, it's plastic for packaging during that era of Marvel Legends. Gotta look at Drax on the front of the box art right there with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 logo down there. Gotta look at the Legends logo on top, and you have Drax title up on the top as well. Turning to this side, you gotta look at Drax right there. Turning to the back, you got another shot of him with all the accessories and then the Build-A-Figure piece. And turning this side, you gotta look at the Build-A-Figure, Cosmo the Space Dog, and the list of everyone in the wave. And now we're back at the front, and then of course you have this on top that I don't really show it often, which I probably should. But anyway, that's a look at the package. Let's now take a look at his accessories. Alright, so for accessories here, we only get 2 knives here besides the Build-A-Figure piece, but for Drax, he gets just the 2 knives here. It's all painted gray, no paint on it at all, so it would be nice maybe get some paint on the handles, but I think this may be accurate, but let me know. But again, just all that gray paint right there for the knives. And funny story, when I first got this guy, I actually lost one of these knives. So early on, back in 2023, I had to buy another one to have an extra knife. So yeah, just be careful to replace these. Don't lose these. They're kind of small and loose and everything, but you are able to port these into his knife sheath, into his pant leg, which we'll show later, which I really like. Anyway, that's a look at his 2 accessories. Let's now take a look at Drax. Taking a look at Drax, you got, of course, the greenish bluish color for the skin color there. You got this, a little design on his face, which I believe would match his, stomach or his chest here if the shirt was off and everything. Taking a look at the rest of the torso here, it's essentially the same as the other Guardians, except he's not wearing gloves. So we'll take a look at that in one moment. But taking a look at torso, we're kind of used to it by now. You got the blue for the base of the body, the gold kind of insignia for the Guardians logo, I believe, on the chest right there. You got some red lines going throughout the torso that kind of go to the thighs areas, just the upper portion of it. And then for the arms here, you got the little red near the shoulder area right there, and some red near the lower half of the arm. Then you got blue for the rest, and then of course you have his hands shown right here, which again, no gloves on him, and it's gonna be mirrored for this side right here. So pull this one up, you gotta look at the red shoulders, the blue for the base of the arm there, and then you got the red down here, and then the just no gloves on his hands. Turning to the back here, again, it's all blue, just like the rest, besides the little red trim on the shoulders right here, which I don't know if that really counts as back detailing there, but you have that. And then taking a look at the legs here, again, we already took a look at the red little strips on top and down on the upper portion of the thighs. The rest of his legs are blue, besides the boots here, which are black, just like all the others. And then he does have these little knife sheaths on the side of his leg right there. So you have that. So I'm really happy you're able to port these knives in there. I am someone who likes to port all my accessories into my action figures if they're able to. That way I don't lose them. I'll put them in plastic bags or whatnot. Now I will say it's not really fault to this figure, but it's kind of odd seeing Drax with a shirt on, in my opinion. Not sure if I like that. I will say the Guardian suit is growing on me, so happy about that. But with Drax, I'm just used with him not having a shirt on. So, I don't know. That's a look at Drax. And so, now we'll move on to articulation. Alright, so taking a look at articulation for Drax, I gotta say, the head articulation, there's not really much there. You can only turn it 360 degrees like so. You can look down a little bit, but not a lot. You can look up basically not at all, and there's no side-to-side motion. So just like a Star-Lord video, I think I kind of mentioned this, Drax was the other one who didn't really have too good head articulation. And yeah, it's just one of the worst head articulations I've seen in quite a while for a Marvel Legends figure. I'm going to take the head off there because I'm going to show you the ball joint here that the head would pop on. I'm not too familiar with the, style of how these are made. I know when people review these sometimes, they'll talk about, different parts of the joints and different names for them. Still not too familiar with that. I need to watch a video of the anatomy of an action figure, but if that exists. But as you can see here, this joint right here does not move at all. So again, you don't really get any head articulation for Drax. So I just thought I'd note that. So you have that, which kind of makes him look like he's looking down a bit, in my opinion. But that just could be me. Anyway, that's enough of the head articulation. Taking a look at the rest of it, it should be pretty decent like the rest. We can turn the arm around 360 degrees like so. You can pull the arm out like that. You can bend at the elbow like so, and then twist at the hand. And there's a little bit of wrist articulation in there, so that's nice. and then it should be mirrored for this arm right here. Twist at the arm, and then pull out at the arm, bend at the elbow like so, and then twist at the hand. Again, the wrist articulation, and then let's see, does he turn at the waist? He does, so that's nice. And then he bends at the ab crunch right there. He goes back that far, so pretty good there. No side-to-side motion for him. You can kick up that far, bend the knee in like so, bend the foot, bend it up like so, and it does go side to side. And it should be mirrored for this leg right here. Bend at the knee, kick, or not kick, but bend at the foot. Bend the foot that far up, side to side. And then he can do splits like so. So that's a look at Drax. Let me grab one of his knives real quick if I can remember which side of them on. Here they are. So we're just going to put one of them in real quick just to show you. So if I pull his arm up, if you place the knife in, if it's like this position, you place it in like so, like that. And that's how you port his knife into the knife sheath. So that's really nice. Anyway, that's a look at Drax articulation. Let me get in post. We'll take a look at my final thoughts. Well, there you go. That is my review of Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 from the Marvel Legends line. Overall, it's a pretty decent figure. The only real complaint I had is the head articulation there for Drax. I don't know, I just feel like there's not really any there. And again, it could just be me, but I feel like he's looking down. So having at least the I guess the option to move his head up a bit, it's not really there, so I don't really like that. Something else I didn't mention, which is not really a complaint, but he has a different body sculpt given that he's a bit bigger, so I do like that. Anyway, that's my review for Drax the Destroyer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you thought of this video and figure. With that, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Keep out for other videos coming to the channel here soon. So with that, take care.